Seems to be where we left it.
Hey, this really isn't a good place for civilians to be hanging around. There's something I can help you with?
Oh, security impounded a ton of cargo and didn't have storage space for it all, so we're holding on to some of it until they can run inventory.
So, you need something, or...? Not really sure. Whenever they get through their backlog, I guess. There a reason you're asking? Yeah... I can't really just let you in there.
I hear you.
You know what? I may be starting to like you.
I'm glad you understand the position I'm in here.
I don't get it. I'm gonna need you to clear out of here, or else I'll have to call security.
I never had the patience for computer systems.
UC Security, you're under arrest. I've got special orders. You're coming with me. Prepare for immediate transport to our vessel. I've been authorized to inform you that you are being transferred to the UC Vigilance. You'll find out more when you get there. Other than that, I'm not at liberty to divulge any additional information. We have orders to transport you and your vessel to your final destination, the UC Vigilance. Any deviation from those orders on your part will be considered an act of hostility and will be met with aggressive force. Smart decision. Stand by to be transferred.
I'm telling you, the commander's got plans for this loser. Why else would he be going through all this trouble? I still don't understand why he trusts a criminal. Seems like too much of a risk. Stop worrying and keep an eye on our guest. I'll be right back. You just sit tight. The commander wants to have a little chat. The prisoner's ready, sir. I hope you're comfortable. We have a lot to discuss. I'm your ticket out of the mess you've gotten yourself into. That's all you need to know for now. Not this time. So, let me see what we're working with here. It appears that you have a background in cyber running. Perfect. Information gathering is one of our top priorities around here. I also see that you've mined on Vectera, and now you're with Constellation. You've certainly been quite busy. Oh, and look at that. Right at the bottom of this list is the criminal incident that landed you in my crosshairs. Huh. You're absolutely right. Well, I'll have my people get right on that. Now that we have that out of the way, let me introduce myself. My name is Commander Kibwe Ikande, and I'm in charge of this operation for UC SysDev. Are you familiar with what we do? Actually, that's something new we're trying. I figured we needed to branch out a bit, broaden our horizons. UC SysDev is a division of the UC Navy. While they handle the big picture stuff, we deal with a very particular problem. The Crimson Fleet. That convict is where you enter the picture. Smart decision. We've been prodding at the Crimson Fleet for years, trying to take them down one ship at a time. But we barely scratched the surface. If we can get someone on the inside, we have a shot at finding a loose thread we can pull to bring it all down. If the military rolls in and attacks the Crimson Fleet, we'd have a full-scale war on our hands. That means losses. Heavy losses that the United Colonies can't afford. It doesn't matter how I feel. I'm simply doing what's best for the security of the United Colonies. Look, I'm going to make this simple. Agree to work for UC SysDev, and together we take down the Crimson Fleet. Refuse, and I tell these guys to throw you into the nearest lockup. Might even tack on an extra few hundred credits to your fine. Well, first of all, we'll forget about the infraction that landed you on the Vigilance. Wipe the slate clean. Better still, depending on how well you do your job, we'll even kick in a few extra credits to offset any cost that the operation will incur. Or you can throw all that away and end up back in jail with a hefty fine attached. I'm not coercing you into doing anything. I'm simply giving you a chance to redeem yourself. So, what do you say? You going to work with me, or should I find someone else? You aren't leaving until I have an answer. If I didn't think you had a chance, I would have left you in lockup. You're just going to have to follow your instincts and trust me. Smart choice. I'm going to have one of my men escort you to the operations center. I strongly suggest that you don't give him any trouble. And don't bother trying to leave the ship. I think you'll find all access to the docking area is fully restricted.
All right, let's go.
Yes? So... yes.
So,
Bye.
you took the op instead of serving the time. Gonna be the commander's new mole, huh? Going in all alone, infiltrating a bunch of pirates. You've got a lot of guts. Still, it makes you wonder, especially with the stories that go around.
Excuse me.
Like the one about how the fleet deals with informants by lashing them to the hull of a ship, and then slowly letting the air out of their suit. Could you imagine a worse way to go? I know I couldn't. But I wouldn't worry about it. Since the commander handpicked you, I'm guessing you can hold your breath for a really long time, right?
Pardon.
All right. This is as far as I go. Take the lift up to Ops. Commander Ikonde should be waiting for you.
Yes? Mm-hmm. Goodbye.
Hey. Excuse me.
Pardon. Howdy.
Ah, there you are. Excellent. Now that we've established your level of cooperation with us, I want to introduce you to your new home. This is the Operations Center of the UC Vigilance, SysDef's nerve center dedicated to the destruction of the Crimson Fleet. Whether this ship is impressive or not, you're the key element that we've been lacking. We need eyes and ears inside the Crimson Fleet. Someone who can feed us information, evidence, and expose their weaknesses. The catch is that you can't just knock on their front door and ask for an application. Getting inside is going to take some finesse. Good. I have just the right place for you to start. Our intelligence has managed to find a possible opening into the Crimson Fleet through Saoirse Bowden, one of their contacts. She works for the Trade Authority in Sidonia, so you'll be using a container of Aurora we've loaded on your ship to get her attention. That's right. So it'll be your job to convince this person that you're the real deal. Once you bluff your way into the Crimson Fleet, then the operation proceeds to evidence gathering. That's where my second-in-command, Lieutenant Gillian Toft, comes into the picture. She'll explain everything you need to know. Well then, I suppose you'll just have to take your chances. In the meantime, I expect you to follow my orders, to the letter. Remember, this entire operation rests on your ability to infiltrate the Crimson Fleet and bring us the evidence we need to take them down. At this point, whether you like it or not, you're working for me. Look, before you begin, I want to make something perfectly clear. As an undercover operative for UC SysDev, you'll be expected to follow our code of conduct and ethics. Allow yourself to stray too far off the path, and you stand a good chance of spiraling out of control. The Crimson Fleet doesn't follow the rules. They only abide by one thing: money. All of their morals and social graces fall by the wayside in pursuit of their greed. At first glance, this can appear quite enticing, so I'm warning you not to get lured into their trap. Think you can handle that? I don't want promises. I'm just asking you to think. Anyway, it's time to hand you over to Lieutenant Toft. She'll brief you about the details of the evidence-gathering portion of the operation. Now, get out of here, and good luck. For your own safety, nobody but myself and the crew of the Vigilance will be aware that you're working for the United Colonies. Basically, if you land in jail, you're going to have to deal with the fines. All we know is that she's been with the Trade Authority for years, which means she's been privy to some seriously shady deals. She's shrewd and she's diligent. The only reason we were able to connect her with the Crimson Fleet at all was thanks to an informant. I'm afraid she's the best lead we've got. While you're running with the Crimson Fleet, you're undoubtedly going to be faced with some morally gray decisions. It's going to be difficult for you to weigh the consequences of pulling the trigger while maintaining your cover. Do what you have to do, but remember why you're out there in the first place. As long as you can distinguish between surviving and thriving, you'll do just fine. Look, I can see that you're struggling with this, so let me simplify this for you. If there's a route to your goal which doesn't involve killing innocent people, I'm urging you to follow that path. Use your instincts. I'm certain you'll do the right thing. That's easy to answer. You don't. We'll be monitoring your activities from the Vigilance and attempting to keep it within your vicinity. When you feel you've gathered enough evidence, and at the completion of your assignments, head back here for a debrief. Beyond that, you're completely on your own. Dismissed.
Yes? What? Yes? Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. All right then.
Conde's on level 2. Try not to touch anything until he actually clears you.
Back in basic training, I had the record for fleet kills. Hello.
Yes? What?
Okay, hello.
I thought it was clear that Lieutenant Toft should be your next stop. Good luck.
Excuse me.
Pardon.
All right, we don't have a lot of time, so I need you to listen up. While you're working undercover, it's imperative that you gather as much evidence as possible. If you find any records that look suspicious or incriminating, you bring it to me. Is that understood? You better make it, because Commander Akande cashed in all his chips to get this operation off the ground. I want data slates, computer downloads, handwritten notes. Hell, I'll take anything if it'll get those bastards thrown into the brig. For the sake of the settled systems, I hope you're right. That minor skirmish you had with them on Vectera was nothing compared to the death and destruction those pirates leave behind. If you've seen what I've seen, you'd understand why I'm pushing you so hard. That's all we're asking. Oh, before you go, there's one more thing. Commander Akande has authorized a credit disbursement for each piece of evidence that you return, as compensation for your efforts. It's not generous, it's motivational. Commander Akande's idea. All right, we've loaded a container of Aurora into your ship's cargo hold. We're also providing you with a sample you can use to tease the goods. We've cleared your ship for launch. Proceed to Sidonia. Make contact with Saoirse Bowden, and with any luck, she'll point you to the Crimson Fleet. That should do it. You're dismissed. Don't worry, the container's been registered with UC Security, so you shouldn't have any trouble. Even if you're scanned. Of course, if we find out you tried to sell it to someone outside the boundaries of this particular operation, well, I don't think I need to tell you the consequences of making that mistake. Not really, no. I've learned to keep my personal experiences separate from the job. Yeah. Maybe. No, it's not really an appropriate time to be going over my private life. There are much more important things to be done. Let's just stick to the job at hand and concentrate on the mission. But, maybe we can talk about it some other time, okay? We'll be keeping them close at hand until this operation is complete. So, we'll be holding them in the Vigilance's brig. If you're feeling particularly ruthless, you could always head down there and say hello. I'm sure they'll be thrilled to see you. I'll be here if you have any more questions.
Hey.
Howdy.
Yes?
Hello. Okay, hello.
Systems are nominal. We are ready to depart.
Can I help? Can I help? Bye. Yeah? I'm more than ready. Let's go.
Miss Morgan, I shall be here if you need me.
It's actually comforting to know that, Androsia. Thank you.
If I had not mentioned it, I have another package ready for delivery.
That's all fine then. Do let me know if you get a response. That is highly unlikely, but if it happens, I will be sure and tell you.
This is UC Security. Prepare to be scanned for contraband. Scan complete. You're cleared to land.
Now you can see why you see Marines that get sent here consider this posting a punishment.
Hurt. Might want to head on over to Reliant. Dr. Flynn will get you patched up.
Don't want to catch yourself with a loose grip on your equipment when one of those particle detonations goes off.
Fancy seeing you here. Oh, hey there. How can I help you? Oh my! I completely forgot. Yes, of course. We have an amazing pamphlet called Top of the List, which is scientifically proven to work 90% of the time. Though, I'm afraid there's a small fee to cover printing expenses. But your commission will more than make up for that, I can assure you. You betcha. I'm sure you're very busy doing. Goodbye.
Hello, traveler. Will you join me for a while? You strike me as someone with an interesting story. Call it scholar's intuition. Meeting a kindly stranger is always a blessing. Sightseeing on Mars. My intuition about you must have been correct. Most stop in Sidonia for the strong drinks at the Broken Spear. You must be more interesting than most people. I appreciate the sentiment. Consider my interest piqued. I'd be happy to join you. I have a feeling this will be a fruitful partnership. Are you willing to pay? I dislike taking money from friends, but I'll need some credits to stow my ship at Sidonia's spaceport. I'll work to make it up to you, naturally. Let me think about it. This isn't getting us anywhere. Not sure that's the best way to get me on your side. All right, I'll do it. I can pay the rest of the fees out of pocket. Some other time, then.
Am I glad I got this job instead of mining some dead rock out in the middle of nowhere?
Hey there.
Hi. Have a good one.
No time to chat. Can't talk right now, sorry. How's it?
Sorry, can't talk.
Hey there. Yes? What? Looking to join a crew. Any openings? Suit yourself.
Before you say anything, no. Mars is nothing like Earth. Heck, even Earth is nothing like what Earth used to be.
Can you believe people used to think that nearby mountains are phasing the
Not
cities of
everyone
Mars?
wants to come to me with their
Ridiculous,
problems.
huh?
Don't be a
Doesn't look
stranger.
anything like one.
Got cold beer? What's your poison? So long.
Stay away from the Sixth Circle unless you're a minor. Or at least, don't come crying to me if anything happens. Watch out for the robots. They're surprisingly sneaky.
Go to Mars, they said. It's not easy living in Sidonia.
Nicely done.
Is a safe Sidonia. While indulging in alcoholic beverages is not discouraged, operating heavy machinery while under the influence is dangerous to yourself and... those around you. Please always drink responsibly.
Look at the size of this cavern. I wonder how much of it's natural, and how much was carved out to accommodate Sidonia's mining operations.
Hey, be careful around here.
I have a pen pal in New Atlantis. 20 years ago, I moved to Sidonia on a whim. Never thought I'd stay for as long as I have. Not to get all sappy, but I lost a son in the war. It's been 20 years, but it still makes my brain a bit swirly thinking about it. Just never got to say goodbye, you know? That bugs me. So I come here to try and get peace. All right.
Why, hello there. What can I help you with? Have you come to seek assistance from the House of Enlightenment? Yes, the Enlightened serve as a community-centric institution, much like a traditional church, but without religious faith. For it's the community and faith in one another which is important, not adherence to a particular religious dogma. We're here to serve the Sidonia community in many ways. While we don't have a belief in a greater power, we have faith in humanity, that people will always strive to better the human race. As a community, we come together to help those in need. Food, shelter, basic amenities. We'll provide because that's what people do for one another. We'll always be here if you need. Actually, before you go, would you mind helping me out with something? He believes that faith in a higher power is what inspires more people to be good. I say that more people do good without any promise of divine reward or retribution. What do you think? Ah, that's an interesting perspective. Thank you. I guess when you get down to it, as long as people are good to each other, it doesn't matter what drives them to be good. I'll be sure to share that with Horace.
Being a miner is dreary. Being a mining executive is just bleak.
Broken spirit.
Oh, Horace, you know that's a terrible.
Just because the governor's office is right out there on the main level doesn't mean it's not secure.
While indulging in alcoholic beverages is not discouraged, operating heavy machinery while under the influence is dangerous to yourself and those around you.
Hey! Haven't seen you around here before. Did you just move in? Visiting Sidonia? It's a good one. No one just visits Sidonia. Nah, you're probably here on business. Am I right? Unless you're visiting friends or family, I guess. Anyway, doesn't really matter. Name's Mitch. I'm just a guy who lives here in the Lux condos. I'm always looking to make new friends. People say I can be a bit much sometimes. I love having people to hang out with and watch movies, talk about books, play games, or whatever. That's great. can get a little lonely in Sidonia if you don't know anyone. Well, anyway, I don't want to keep you, but I figured I'd ask. If you happen to know anyone with a ship, I've been looking for some help. You can send my way if they want to make a... Oh, you do? That's great. Well, if it's not too much of an inconvenience, maybe I can entice you to do a favor for me? I found out recently that my favorite book series, Dragonstar Force, had a very limited initial run. I really want to collect all the first editions, but it's hard for me to get them shipped all the way out here. I already tracked down Volume 1. Could you go buy it and bring it back here for me? I'll pay you back, of course. Plus, extra for your trouble. You will? Wow, you're...
Do you ever get songs stuck in your head? Sometimes I have to...
These are supposed to be luxurious condominiums? Huh. If you ask me, I find them to be rather underwhelming. Yeah, what is it? I'll only carry the good stuff. Goodbye.
Sidonia's not so bad. Honest work, good pay.
The United Colonies Vanguard program recently celebrated its 50 years.
The governor is in currently.
The community center on P1 is a good place to connect.
If you're here to buy or sell, you might want to talk to Octai. I'm busy. Octai Enbayar. He's the head of our Sidonia branch. If you want to do some trading, he's the one you need to be talking to. I'm busy. And by sensitive, I'm guessing you mean something you don't want UC Security sticking their noses into. I can probably help you with that. What have you got for me? I'm not talking price until I know what the hell I'm buying. Aurora, huh? Nice. A little too hot to handle, though. What else you got?
The Trade Authority turning away contraband. Now I've seen everything.
No, they're right. What they didn't tell you is that I have a self-preservation streak 1 kilometer wide. Of course, if there's a finder's fee you're offering, I might, well, bend the rules a little bit. You must be new at this game, love, so I'm gonna let that one slide. In our business, nothing gets done until money is exchanged, even if that means leaving a credit on each and every rung of the ladder as you climb your way up. You know, it's funny. Suddenly, I do remember someone who might be able to unload that stuff for you.
Well, well. It appears she suddenly remembers everything. How nice.
There's a buddy of mine who runs with the Crimson Fleet. Goes by the name Adler Kemp. If he isn't passed out, you can find him killing the rest of his brain cells at the Broken Spear. Oh, and it's been a pleasure doing business with you.
Got something for me?
Subterranean particle detonation imminent. Be advised to secure loose articles and find stable ground or
How's it going? Can I help you?
Detonation occurs in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey.
Unless you're here to serve me another drink, you can turn around and walk away. Oh yeah? Well, I don't know who the hell you are. So what makes you think I'm going to help you out? Hey, why don't you say that a little louder? I don't think every single UC guard in Sidonia heard you. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think we can help you with this. If you've got a whole shipment of this stuff, you're going to need to move it fast. But you're going to have to do something for us first. You're a clever one, aren't you? Let's just say I have a certain influential affiliation. And leave it at that. Basically, you want that Aurora moved, I'm your guy. Yeah, well, she isn't running the show here. I am.
Well, this is utterly ridiculous. Do we really have to jump through these hoops to get what we need from you?
Lady, if you want me to move that shipment for your pal here, you're going to do whatever the hell I want. You got that? Now listen up, because I'm not going to repeat myself. I need you to deal with a miner who's racked up a bunch of debt. He probably spent it all on booze, not that I blame him. Either way, I want that money back. What do I need to do here? Write you an instruction manual? You can do this loud, you can do this quiet. I don't care. I just want my goddamn money, and I want this guy to remember who he screwed over. Feel free to throw as many credits in my face as you want, but that isn't the point. We need to make an example out of this guy. His name's Carl Fielding. I think you'll find him wandering around the Deimos miners' quarters. Don't worry, you can't miss him. Just look for the most miserable-looking guy in the entire place.
In order to avoid injury, please report maintenance or unsafe conditions on the upper level to the Sidonia Department of Public Works. All citizens are welcome and encouraged to make use of the Sidonia Community Center.
If you need a quiet spot,
Activities of all citizens. Seek a community center representative to plan your event or regular gatherings.
Stay safe.
Something I can help you with? Adler Kemp. Who the heck is that? Of course, I owe money. Unless you're independently wealthy. Everyone's in debt nowadays. I owe Deimos. I owe my landlord. I owe Galbank. Heck, I have a tab at Parsec Deep at the Spear. It's an endless list. So why don't you just leave me here? Let me get drunk and find someone else to bother. Okay? Adler, you said? Nope. think you have me mixed up with someone else. Look, I'm tired. It's been a long day in the mines. I just want to go home, wash off the dust, and relax. This has been fun, though. Whatever. Adler. Oh, wait. You mean that Adler? Yeah, sorry. I thought you were talking about someone else. I told him I'd pay up next week when Deimos cuts our next profit share check. I'll even bring it to him personally. Sound good? Yeah? Well, I mean, he doesn't really have a choice. Look, I haven't got a single credit to spare right now. Okay? You can't squeeze blood from a stone. You know? Right?
Perhaps he's already been through enough.
What games? Why are you doing this to me? I don't have the money. Well, I might be able to cash in a few of my Deimos shares. Sure. I guess I could ask for a 7-day shift. I don't know. I hear you. Please, tell Adler I'm sorry for trying to wiggle out of the debt. I didn't have much of a choice.
Prepare for today's final subterranean particle detonation. Be advised to secure this article and find stable ground or remain seated in the event of unforeseen travel.
Got what you wanted.
Detonation.
Why can't you just...
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Faith in the greatness and ingenuity of the human spirit.
Final particle detonation concluded. It is now safe to resume normal activity for the remainder of the day. Detonations to resume tomorrow morning.
A friend offered me a nice cushy office job, but I'll make it.
Have something for me? There, would you look at that? I knew that bum was holding out on me. He going to be a problem anymore? Or did he get the message? Nice, nice. You're kind of a natural at this. Leaning on deadbeats comes easy to you. I like that. You know, if you like this kind of work, I can get you more. A lot more. You think you can handle running with my, associates? If you haven't figured that out by now, then maybe you aren't cut out for our line of work. That's what I'm talking about. I like your style. All right. I'll call ahead and get a hold of Neva Mora. She's second to the big boss himself. Head out to Europa. You'll find her there. I suggest you listen to whatever she has to say. Oh, and I've taken care of that Aurora shipment for you too. Don't spend all that cash in one place.
We should have a talk. When you have a talk, of course. Remember our last conversation, when you told me the artifacts made you feel like you were being pulled across the entire galaxy? Well, it got me thinking, so I dove into our archives and started looking through Constellation's older journal entries. Just because I wasn't familiar with the experience you described, doesn't mean the same might have been true for my predecessor. Really? I'm surprised that I haven't. After reading those journals, all of the pleasant memories of my time spent with Aja just started flooding back. Aja Mamasa. She was the youngest member of Constellation when it was founded. Only took her 15 years to reach chair. Sorry, I sometimes get so caught up in my own bubble, I forget that I wasn't the first. Oh yes, absolutely. I didn't mean to compare. Those were just... oh, I don't know. Different times. Aja was the one that taught me the ropes at Constellation and took me under her wing as her protege. Hey, so I pinched a few ideas from my old boss. Can you blame me? At any rate, we logged quite a few discoveries together, but it was the actual journey that I cherished the most. We catalogued unusual stellar phenomena, a few habitable worlds, and some unique life forms, but nothing SSNN would bother to report. Exactly. For me, it was all about the quieter moments. There was nothing quite like sitting back and watching space bend while listening to Aja spin vivid stories to fill the time. Oh, I find that sort of cozy isolation the best way to really get to know someone. Yeah, you know, being alone in interstellar space, nothing but light years of black around you. Some people find that terrifying. I find it comfortable. It helps me bond with my shipmates. At this point, I'd say you've graduated from protege and moved up the ladder. A bit. You know, all this talk about Aja reminds me that my time with her was a gift. I miss her dearly. No, she retired. Living on Porima 2 now, I think. Come to think of it, if we're ever out that far, perhaps we could pay her a visit, and I could make proper introductions. Well, I don't expect you to be a carbon copy of Aja. Just be yourself. You see, it's clear that we share the same hunger. I don't know if I deserve to be that close to anyone right now. If you knew about the things that I've done, the way my life's unfolded, I think your opinion of me might change. Please, give me some time. I have to go. You'll land us in prison.
Just can't stay away, huh?
Hey, it's my personal savior. Thanks again for the assist. Hey, good to see you again. Still think there might be room for me on your crew?
Mars isn't forever.
I've warmed up to Mars since I...
Security! Stop right now!
There's always something to do around here.
Don't be stupid! Stop now! You see security, don't make any sudden moves. Smart move. Now come along with us. We'll take any contraband and stolen property, and you'll be free to go.
The miners pretty much run the lower levels here.
If you see any trouble, let us know.